It is Teresa here from True Life. I'm a teacher, and today I want to share with you how I am sharing assignments with my students via Google Classroom, but specifically, how am I getting their assignments organized? So, for us, this is our second week of distance learning. Last week did not go well. And it was really my issue. I was new to distance learning, as I'm sure many of you are. And so the way that I organized the information for them just wasn't spectacular. And so I decided to try something different for this week. And so what you are looking at on your screen here is what I decided to create. And I immediately on Monday received a lot of feedback from several of my parents saying they absolutely loved the new way that they were seeing information. And so I shared this picture of Mighty Monday on my Instagram account, which, if you're not following me, you can find me at True Life I'm a Teacher. And the response was overwhelming with how many people said they liked the way that it looked and wanted to know if I could share the template and wanted to know, how did I do this? And so I thought I would walk you through today exactly how I did it. And certainly this is something that anybody can do, but if you are interested in my pre-made templates, they are available on Teachers Pay Teachers, which you can find my store, True Life I'm a Teacher, there as well. So first things first, so let me show you, this is actually what I started with, okay? And this file here, this is the file that if you purchase this from Teachers Pay Teachers, this is exactly what you are going to get. And so I have provided a lot of different layouts and a lot of different options so that you're able to customize this top part here. In addition, a completely blank template if you need to customize a different number of rows or columns, however you're deciding that you're going to organize information. But for the purposes of this video, this is the template that I started with. And so I'm going to walk you through exactly how I created this for my students. So the first thing that you are going to need to do is you are going to need to go to Google Slides. I feel like I should insert here, if you're not using Google Classroom, you can still use Google Slides and share those with your students. You also can open up a PowerPoint presentation and essentially follow the exact same directions to make this your own and then share it with your students that way as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this plus sign here to create a new presentation. And you are not going to need any of the text boxes that are already here. You don't need to worry about the theme. And I don't know if this is like this for everyone, but when I open a new presentation on Google Slides, it defaults to a widescreen setting. And all of these backgrounds, all of these templates have been formatted for a wide screen setting. So you shouldn't have to change your page layout. And so I'm just going to select those and delete them. If for some reason your page does not default to widescreen, I'm going to show you how you can change that. You're going to click File, and you're going to go to Page Setup, and you are able to choose, including making a custom setup. Widescreen with a ratio of 16:9 is what these have been formatted to. So what you're going to want to do is we're actually inserting the images, because that's, if you purchase my product from Teachers Pay Teachers, that's what you're getting. You're getting images to insert. And so the reason that we are not just inserting an image is because we don't want students to be able to move the template around. That's the beauty of this, is that it keeps everything really organized. So we're going to select background. We're going to choose image. And then mine are located, I have it saved on my desktop. And so I would recommend, just to make things easy for you, that when you download the templates from Teachers Pay Teachers, if they don't automatically save to your desktop, I would get them there. And so here are all of the different templates. There's 46, minus a couple of pages that I just use as separators. But almost 40, or right around 40 different templates. And so there's one that already has some of the topics up here, which these are the topics that I use. But let's say you call your reading something else. Maybe you want it to say ELA for the week. That's very, very simple. I've given you blank templates, and so you would be able to just insert a text box over this, and I'm going to show you how we would do that. So I'm going to choose yellow, and actually this is not the one that I want to use, because I want everything to be blank to show you how you can add in all of the text features. So there's an option for Mighty Monday, but I want everything blank, blank, blank. Here, this is what I want. So we're going to click done. And now you see, now you are able to customize this any way you want. But I'm going to show you exactly how did I go from this screen right here to that one. So first thing, and you can really go in any order that you want. This text box feature here is going to be one of your very best friends. So I'm going to click that, and then you have a little, looks like a T or a cross. That's how you know that you're able to insert a text box. So you can click, or you have the option, when you select the text box, you can drag like so. So first thing that I want to do is I need to get my headers in here. Now you have the flexibility to have this by day of the week, so like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or you can make this like if yours is going to say Mighty Monday like mine, you can have all of your subjects here. I actually provided both options to my families, so they have it by day of the week as well as by subject. I provided both options for my families, and they're each using, it has all of the same information. It's just two different ways of looking at it. For me, for planning purposes, it was so much easier to do a subject at a time for the entire week. And then from there, I was able to just copy and paste it daily. It was very, very simple. So you're able to change your fonts here. I really like Century Gothic. It's easy to read. And so I'm going to essentially recreate the one that says Mighty Monday. Okay, so for me, I would put, oops, this is Monday, and then you're able to just kind of move these around as you need to. Okay, and so all of the same functions that you have on your favorite, maybe you use Word or whatever, you're able to do that here as well. And so then instead of having to insert another text box, I'm just going to copy and paste it. That way I already know it's the right size. I'm gonna put it here, and then I'm gonna get it to match up, and I'm gonna type Tuesday, okay? And so on and so forth. So I'm not gonna go through each day of the week because I think you've kind of got that figured out. But then to get each an assignment, words are not my friend during distance learning. They're escaping me. But to get assignments like this, I actually made one text box and I made it about the size that I wanted it. And then because this is already the right width, I didn't ever create a text box again. I always use this one and copy and pasted. And so here, if you want the same font, be sure to change the font. If you add a new text box, it's going to go back to the default font. If you copy and paste a text box, it's going to use whatever font was used in that last text box. So for me, I like to tell my students where they're going to find their assignment. So for example, we've been using a lot of BrainPop, and so they're going to need to go to BrainPop. And then I like to give them these check boxes, and then I'll tell them the name of a video. So maybe they're watching a shape video. And if I want them to complete a quiz afterwards, I'll tell them the name of the quiz that I want, okay? And then these text boxes here, I just copied and pasted them. And the great thing is that the red lines here, I call them a guide. I don't know the official name for them, but they're gonna let you, so like if it's like that, I know that it's centered with Tuesday because of that vertical line. But if I want it to be centered with the one right next door, I'm just looking for those red lines to get everything nice and even and to give it kind of a uniform, neat, clean look. If you want to link something, you can just highlight it and then use this link here, and you're able to copy and paste from wherever and make it a link that students can then click on. You can also add images. So the discussion or journal topics that I've been sharing on Instagram, I insert those as an image and I upload those from my computer, which are a little bit more interesting to find because they're all in, wherever. So, and then I'm able to just resize this to fit within a column like so. And so you can just put that wherever you'd like your image to be. If you have video, like I have some videos here from YouTube, if I want those videos, I'm going to insert a video. And if I have the URL, I can plop it here. If I know that I want to find something on YouTube, maybe you want to find a cuckoo kangaroo video, which is like a brain break. You can find that, insert it that way. Everybody poops. Oh boy. My kids would love that. They haven't seen that one before. So like I know they love roller coaster, so I can select that. You can also double click it. Sometimes the double click works better. You're able to resize if you want it to fit within a column, like so. Let's see, what else did I have on there? If you want this to say like Mighty Monday, or if you want it to say like math for the week, you're still going to use this text box feature. And so I want mine centered. I want white text. You can certainly play around with different fonts if you would like. Unfortunately, the font that I used isn't a Google font, so you're not going to find it here, and I haven't spent the time to figure out if I'm able to get that font on here. I doubt it. It's not a Google font. I have in many of the slides that I've given you, there are already there's already a title up at the top for you. But I understand my titles may not work for everybody. You got to make this your own. And so I know that I'm probably going to want this to be nice and big. So maybe I want to call this Math for the Week. And then you can play around. Maybe you want it bold. You know, the titles are kind of where, I mean, you could make it Comic Sans, y'all. We all love Comic Sans, right? I kid. But if you want it to look different, you want it to be fun, you can find fonts, you can add them. You can sort by how you want it to look. I mean, there's lots of different ways. You can find fun fonts. I don't know, maybe Anton. It's nice and thick. Maybe you want it to be that. And so there's Anton. You can change that. Again, if you want it to be bigger, go ahead and just see how big you can get it so that it still fits. And you might have to move it up some. I click on the whole text box and then I use the arrows on my computer, but you can certainly drag it as well. The great thing, I mean, you really can make this your own. And if you totally screw it up, you just kind of select it, delete it, start over. Because the great thing is that this background isn't going anywhere because we added it as a background, okay? Then the last piece of this, and a question that I got is, well, how am I sharing this with my students? So the way that I'm sharing this with my students is in Google Classroom. And in Google Classroom, what I'm doing, so let me just go to my Google Classroom. So in my Google Classroom, I go to Classwork and Create, and I am creating an assignment. You could do this as just material, but by creating it as an assignment, I'm able to give each student their own copy. If there's a chance that your students could move something around, I recommend doing an assignment and not material. So I'm going to do an assignment. This was the week of April 6th. You can type some instructions if you want. I haven't been doing any instructions. Then you are going to go to your Google Drive and you're going to find this presentation. Now I should have named this. I'm just going to name this sample. That way I can find it hopefully easily. And there it is. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to add it. Sometimes double clicking works a lot better. The most important thing perhaps that you want to do here is that you need to change this to make a copy for each student. If you do not make a copy for each student, one of two things can happen. Either they're not going to be able to edit it themselves, or they're going to edit it or delete something or put a check mark on something, and then that's what the whole class is going to end up seeing. Not a great idea. So when in doubt, make a copy for each student. Because this is their checklist, mine is ungraded, but you have the option to make it graded if you want. You can add a due date. I haven't been adding due dates because honestly, every family situation is different. But you can if you want. The topic though, you can choose a topic that you want this to go on. In my classroom, this would go under the topic that I have called Week of April 6th. And so since that's not here, week of April 6th. Okay. And then you're going to be able to assign that. You can also schedule it if you are working on next week now and I want this scheduled to go live for Monday morning at 6 a.m. You can do that. Or if you're just not quite sure what you want to do with it yet, you can save it as a draft. And when you save something as a draft, your students cannot see it. Only you can see it. And then you can click on it and edit the assignment as needed. So that is kind of the ins and outs of how you can make these templates your own. Again, all of these templates, let me just kind of go through them quickly so that you know exactly what is in the product on Teachers Pay Teachers. I have So I have a page that is notes for parents. This is where you could put reminders for the week. I have just kind of general reminders that are not week specific. In fact, mine will stay the same for as long as we're needing to do this. Excuse me. You have a good morning slide if you want to do a daily morning message. Here's a different view. And here's a blank one. So you have the flexibility to customize these as you need. You can use a template that I have already made, or if that doesn't work, but you really wanted to say good morning, fabulous. Use this one, use those text boxes, use shapes, whatever you want. I've also given my students a list of brain breaks that they can do, that they can do. And again, mine, I use this exact one. I didn't have it split up into days or anything like that. And I just used shapes and text boxes to separate them as I needed. So all of the rest of these are going to be weekly view by subject. So this is math for the week, Monday through Friday. Religion, science, social studies, reading, journals. I have some early finisher activities. I'm actually using this template that you see here because I don't have them separated by day. I just wanted to give them some options that they can pick whatever day they might need it. I've also done one challenge of the week that is more kind of like a hands-on, usually something sort of sciencey, STEM, STEAM, stream related. The next templates are Monday through Friday with a daily view. So this is Mighty Monday, and then this would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Terrific Tuesday, Wonderful Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, Fabulous Friday. Again, finish early. These are blank headers, but with the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if you want to use the Monday through Friday view, but maybe you are a Spanish teacher, or maybe you have a special subject in your classroom that you're using, or maybe you don't call reading, whatever. This is what you can use to change that, the topic, if you will. And so I've given you all the different colors there. This is going to be blank headers and columns. So if you can customize this any way that you see fit. And then I've given you blank headers with no columns, so completely blank. So lots of different ways that you can customize this. And I just kind of wanted to show you the last thing before I finish this video is I wanted to show you exactly what mine look like for the week. So here's the notes for parents. Here's how I'm using good morning. Here are brain breaks. And then I actually used these separators so that my parents could find what they wanted to easily. So here's our math for the whole week. And this is the reason that this even came about was because this is how I plan. I plan math for the week. I don't go math on Monday and then reading on Monday and then science on Monday. That was killing me it was just taking so much time and time that I didn't want to be spending. And I felt like I was just going in circles. It was so hard for me to plan like that. I am at a private school, and so we have religion each day. science for the week. I'm going back and forth, science one week, social studies the next, so that's why I don't have both in here. Here's reading for the week. Here are my journals for the week. Here's what early finisher activities look like. Here's how my challenge of the week. If you're not using SciShow Kids, oh, it is a wealth of knowledge, and they are all free, and my kids love them. And then here's the exact same thing, except instead of having all of math in one view, I've put all of Monday in a view, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we don't have school on Friday because it's Good Friday. So I hope that you found this helpful. And again, if you want to purchase the templates that you saw throughout this video, I will link them in the description, and you can find them in my Teachers Pay Teachers store. Happy teaching!